Yeah, very curious move from Mark Gurman. He reached out to Asher, who of course did have other than Brian and I, is the only other person that has the source material.
The same ones we have, let's say. Yeah, to be clear.
Unedited source material for what we were shown for iOS 19 so that he could recreate it. We trust those people to keep that information between us. That is obviously, we are risking jobs. Jobs are on the line from people that have families and, have very respected positions. That it would be reckless to abuse that responsibility. It's the same reason why we don't show you any of the real material. So if we're not going to let the real material get out there, we also can't just spread it.
Yeah.
So Asher is the only other person who has the responsibility of even needing to see that so he can recreate it.
Yeah.
And after our video went out, Mark did privately DM Asher and ask him for the originals. I would love to know why that is.
Welcome to Recycle Bin, episode 26.
Wow! Killing it. We're just the best.
One more closer to 30, and then we die.
One more recycling,
just like real
closer
life.
to death. Yep.
Yeah. On today's episode, our iOS 19 leak has caused some drama. And
you could say that.
We're going to talk about it. Jern, you're a hidden handyman.
I forgot we were talking about this.
WrestleMania season is in full effect, and it's nearing, and I am very excited, and I know you're excited, and everyone's excited. We're going to talk about it. And we have some surprise announcements related to this podcast.
Yay. The surprise announcement is...
Go ahead.
Oh, I was waiting for you.
Oh, no, I figured we'd talk about it later.
Oh, okay. Wait for later.
Yeah. I like to feed them the good first. You know?
The good?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's talk iOS 19. Our leak video finally came out.
The video is finally out.
Oh, my God. I can't believe it happened.
Hooray. It took forever. You guys that watch this show, is that light straight?
Yeah.
Bugging me. Okay. The video's finally out. Hooray. Lots of stuff has been stirred.
Oh, yeah, that's a good word for it.
People have been waiting on this. There's been a few publications that also knew we were working on this that were waiting. We had this stuff for a couple months, I think. I don't know. And then it took I don't know how long to get the video out, even after it was finished. At least weeks. All of you were wondering about it, asking about it.
Yep.
It's finally up. The day before, no, I believe it was the same day Genius Bar had gone up, and I had shown a single screenshot from one of our concepts of the new iMessage, and it got plastered everywhere.
Should we hang on? Should we clarify? That's not a concept. It is a recreation of the leak.
For audio listeners, I was using air quotes.
And also, just to be very clear, we did not make anything up from what we saw.
No. We had multiple images, videos of iOS 19. Okay?
Yeah.
And we, instead of publishing those videos, I don't think you understand how far Apple goes to make sure stuff doesn't leak.
Yeah.
There's so many identifiers in those pictures and videos to such an extent that if those got out, detrimental to teams of people.
Yes.
So we cannot do that. I watched a few podcasts of people discussing this where it was they did that thing where they recreated it, but I'm being completely genuine. That's all we do. Is recreate the stuff that you've seen it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess, should they not trust both of us?
Well, I thought it'd be an interesting thing to say that, I have skin in the game, right? Because this is our reputation.
Yeah.
But, this isn't just Jern being a Jern, being feisty and, combative for fun or anything, or...
I haven't been, I feel like.
No, you haven't, but, in the past, maybe you get...
in the past,
sure.
You've
been a little riled up and you
I would
outspoken.
be the provoker.
The only thing I could say is if whatever we saw, if somehow that was not real, this would be like a coordinated effort to like discredit us. It's
Yes.
the only way I could reason it out because
Yeah.
it's
There's also stuff in the stuff
Yes.
that if it was faked by somebody, they know way too much internal information. There are things that can be traced back to teams that shouldn't be, and like I just want to be clear. There are so many metrics here other than just the source material. I'm talking which teams it came from, which people it came from. It is real. That's the bet. I will put my entire reputation on the line. What we saw is real.
I will, and I'll go a step further, and just to be a nice little centrist type boy, one of the things somebody said, Mark Gurman said, is that it could be like he thinks it's based on very old something builds or whatever. Sure, I mean, maybe, right, but I really don't think. 99% sure that was real in whatever sense that takes.
Yeah, so...
Oh, you go ahead.
When the video comes out, just as with what happened with our iPhone 17 Pro video, which we'll get to, Mark Gurman tweets something. And I don't think normally it would be such a big discussion here on the show, but a lot of media publications have taken it's been a field day because they've been able to cover this video 2 times. One for here's what Jon Prosser says iOS 19 looks like, and then again Mark Gurman versus Jon Prosser, here's a new article about that. So the video went out, and less than an hour after it goes out, Mark Gurman tweets. We just have the thread post up because that's what was linked in some article somewhere. I didn't know he posted on Threads too. Can you read that verbatim? Because I can't really.
Okay. Yeah, I'll throw it on the TV just for anybody so they don't like think I'm making this up. Oh, cool. There's sticky notes in the way. I love our podcast. All right. iOS 19 images floating around aren't representative of what we'll see at WWDC. They look to be based on either very old builds or vague descriptions missing key features. Expect more from Apple in June. Regardless, mock-ups, real or not, are always exciting for Apple watchers.
Okay. So, my best defense for us here is that, I don't know if you can find it, the iPhone 17 Pro tweet.
From Mark?
Yeah.
I will look.
This tweet, or this thread post, carries the same... Yeah, just type in Mark Gurman iPhone 17 Pro and it'll come up.
You keep talking.
This post carries the exact same energy from 2 months ago, where Mark Gurman posted... there it is.
Oh, yeah, here we go. It's an image, but whatever.
Yeah, he posted a tweet that said, same thing, without mentioning us directly, the same day that our iPhone 17 Pro video came out, the iPhone 17 Pro renders on YouTube tonight appear to be based on this fake late January sketch.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have been following iPhone rumors, but every single leak following our leak has matched up completely. There hasn't been a single reputable leak that has come out from a single reputable leaker that has contradicted what we put out.
Correct.
Obviously, we can't say our leak is confirmed until Apple releases the iPhone that looks like the leak we put out.
Yeah.
But every indicator from physical aspects in the supply chain, physical material, as well as CAD files that have since surfaced, sketch files, like everything that has come out has matched our iPhone 17 Pro leak from a couple months ago, maybe a month ago, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, including physical molding. So, less than an hour after that video goes out, Mark Gurman says with his whole chest, accuses us of faking the leak.
Yeah, I mean, I think he tiptoed around that particular sentiment, but I think what he did was sow doubt that our leak was not genuine. Okay,
so if he does this an hour after the iPhone 17 Pro video comes out, and then as you... Django, you can come here! He's crying somewhere.
Cat, not a human.
If that's what he does after our iPhone 17 Pro video comes out, and then throughout the next following weeks, a bunch of other information comes out corroborating us.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe maybe we didn't fake it. That's just that is a possibility.
Yeah.
Maybe we had material. And maybe from a similar set of people, we had been given iOS 19 around the same time. And maybe we believe very heavily in that information. Maybe I had some misses in the past with Apple leaks, especially towards the end of my my first run of leaking Apple stuff. That if we were going to come back to leaking, especially after saying multiple times, I'm done leaking, maybe we weren't taking the risks that we used to. Maybe we're pretty certain about this information, you could say.
Yeah.
And maybe we have so much material that it couldn't possibly be fake. And if it was fake, as Brian said, it would be a coordinated effort, which I don't see Apple putting any time into trying to trick us specifically. That makes no sense to give us more attention and more press time.
It'd be ridiculous to do that, but that's the only way. I mean,
yeah, that would not happen. Okay, so Mark tweets again an hour after this video goes out, and a lot of publications have written about this. Mac Rumors immediately wrote about it, saying, Gurman, Jon Prosser's iOS 19 mockups aren't representative of redesign. 9to5Mac posted an article. They changed the title, but the original title was Prosser versus Gurman shows us that we actually know nothing about iOS 19. Like, that was something about the...
Right.
I get that the T is nice, and I'm glad everyone's writing their articles and getting it.
Yeah.
But this is why Gurman inserts himself. I just want to say. I respect Mark Gurman's work tremendously. In terms of, like, longevity and number of scoops... He is a staple in the community.
Sure.
I was just watching Geared Up with Andrew Edwards and John Rettinger. They had John Gruber on. And John Gruber has been very vocal about his... he hasn't had a heel turn, per se, but he has been on Mark Gurman the last few weeks about Mark not acknowledging when he's wrong and how often he's wrong and not retracting or correcting anything. So they kind of put John Gruber on the spot and was like, what is your beef with Mark Gurman?
Yeah.
And he sort of said the same thing. Entirely respects his work. Gruber even mentioned that if, for some reason, Gurman went away and just started doing like NBA rumors instead of iPhone rumors or Apple rumors, there would be a significant void created in the Apple news community. He is very respected with us and amongst the community, I think. He also has a little bit of an ego problem that I suffered with for a long time. So, people throwing stones at glass houses. You could say I'm doing that.
You lived in a glass house.
I may still do. Who knows? All I'm saying is that Gurman wants to be the singular voice for anything that should be trustworthy. He doesn't want you to trust anything else from anyone else. That's why he doesn't, when he corrects stuff, even when he's like taking shots at us, he won't actually use our name because people who don't know what he's talking about would then have to go look us up. And maybe they'll follow us for information, and maybe he doesn't want that. So he doesn't want to give credibility to literally anyone else other than Mark Gurman. And there are some people in the community that have significant pull, I think. CHEEZ-IT, a very big one. He's been around basically as long as Gurman, if not longer, as an analyst.
Sure.
Very experienced. And I guess somehow us now. There are certain names in the community when we say something, there is attention brought to it.
Yeah.
And I don't think Mark wants the attention on that stuff without his name also being included. So you'll notice that these publications fall into the trap where now anytime someone looks up this leak from us, you will also get Mark Gurman's name in there.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's fair. Write your articles. Mark, make your corrections. Say whatever you want on Twitter or Threads. That's totally cool. Wish you would have the
cojones?
The cojones to name drop us and actually, instead of subtweeting,
just directly
say the thing.
Sure, yeah.
Like if you think we're wrong, say Jon Prosser, Front Page Tech, is wrong. Say that. Again, this post shares a lot of the same energy as the iPhone 17 Pro post, and if he was wrong about that, there's a 50-50 shot now that he's wrong about this. That's all I'll say. Is it possible that it's an early version of iOS 19? That's 100% certain.
Oh, yeah.
It's not September. It's not even June. They haven't... Apple... Of course it is early.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of times when... I'm curious to know if Mark watches the video and listens to what we say. Because in the video, even when we talk about there being no circular icons, because in the version we saw, we haven't seen a single circular icon. And that's like the big, I don't know why that's the big sticking point, why everyone wants that for
thumbnail. I mean,
yeah, I guess so, but and that would be the most dramatically big change, I guess, if your home screen icons looked different for the first time ever, if they were round. I would love to say that's what we saw, but that's not what we saw. No. And there are multiple times in the video where I say, this could change, it is early, all we can do is show you what we saw. In terms of like features and stuff, I have not seen a single new feature that is exclusive to iOS 19.
Yeah.
That is not saying that there won't be. I'm sure there will be at least a couple. I know of an exclusive feature that we kind of referenced for the Pro models. That's less about iOS 19 and more about the Pro model iPhones that are coming out. There's an exclusive software-only feature for those. A couple people have made good guesses on that on a previous episode.
Better than me.
Yeah. So all we can do, if we were going to fake it, I think we would have shown you something more substantial.
Cooler.
Yeah.
Arguably.
And keep in mind the timeline here, because a lot of publications have forgotten this somehow, and I watched a podcast the other day that had completely forgotten about it. They thought it was convenient that our iOS 19 leak came out after Gurman said iOS 19 is going to look like Vision OS.
Oh, yeah.
And again, I think it was a span of 50 days before Gurman said anything about iOS 19 at all. Anything about a redesign, anything about it looking like Vision OS. We put out our camera app video where we showed off the new camera app for iOS 19. That was your first look at anything iOS 19 related from anybody ever.
Yeah.
And the camera app looked like Vision OS. And in that video, we speculate. Of course, we had to pretend like we hadn't seen stuff. We speculate this either means only core apps are redesigned or that iOS 19 is getting a Vision OS overhaul. 50-something days later, Gurman comes out and says it's going to have a Vision OS overhaul.
Yeah.
What a great guess from us, if that's the case. You know, us guessing that this year's going to be the redesign. It's going to look like Vision OS. In fact, here's a functional camera app that we saw.
Painstakingly made for no reason.
Yeah.
Apparently.
For views, of course.
For views, yeah.
So, clearly, if our iPhone 17 Pro leak comes out and then everything corroborates it later, it must be not fake.
We got something, clearly.
If our iOS 19 video comes out, the first look at the camera app comes out, and then you hear 50 days later from a very reputable source like Mark Gurman that it's going to have a complete redesign, look like Vision OS, exactly what we showed you, I don't know, maybe we're not faking it. That's just speculation on my part, of course. So that's all I want to say about the Mark Gurman stuff. Usually I would reply, because I wanted to say, like, oh, same energy, and quote his iPhone 17 Pro tweet. But this is what he's not going to acknowledge that. That's not what he does. He wants to say stuff and to avoid like that.
He'll just stoke the fires.
Yeah. And so there's my official response. It's also hard because there's publications writing about this with an incorrect timeline, and I'm not going to go and correct everyone, tweeting them. So and the best part is you don't have to take my word for it. There are dates on the videos that we posted. You can go back and look at that versus, when Mark Gurman first said it's going to look like Vision OS.
Yeah.
It's odd that there's this sort of tea or drama in the tech community, but I'm glad we get to entertain you guys with there's like, oh, here's a leak, but also here's some drama surrounding the leak.
Everybody loves it.
And what a great point from Mark. He said, expect to see more from Apple in June. What a leak.
Oh, I see. Okay.
What a leak. What a leak. Of course.
There's the sass.
Yeah, of course we're going to see, this is the difference. Unfortunately. Mark says stuff with his words through a very reputable publication such as Bloomberg. A lot of times he can be vague about that, so that later on he can backtrack. He's not actually risking anything, trying to show you anything. That's the difference. We are putting ourselves on the line and showing you what we saw.
Yeah.
And all he's giving you back in return is, not it. Of course it's an early build. Of course, we're not making iOS 19 ourselves. We're not, hopefully it's further along than... Like I said, we had this months ago. So I would hope that iOS 19 is months ahead by now. But June is not that far away. So I hope it's doing better. I hope it looks better. I hope there are bugs that are squashed.
Yeah.
And I hope there are a few exclusive features. That would be very, very lovely.
Agreed.
Mark is saying that there's a more substantial update, that there'll be a learning curve and everything. That may be true. All I can tell you is that's not what we saw. I don't think anything we saw indicates an extreme learning curve other than the camera app. And it also makes less sense to do that because there are billions of iPhones.
Yeah.
You saw what happened when they redesigned the Photos app. Everyone hates that thing, and it happened overnight. There was no gradual change. There is a massive risk that Apple takes by having to completely recreate something from scratch on the software that billions of people are going to be using. That the learning curve there for mainstream regular users is too great and could potentially, especially if they miss the mark, scare people away from buying the iPhone. That's why people buy iPhone after iPhone after iPhone, because it's really not different. It's the new iPhone, but it's still familiar. They still know how to use it. So while I'm sure there will be new things, I don't expect drastic, crazy changes in the same year where there's a visual overhaul. That seems too risky for a company like Apple in their position. And I would love to have faked some features, but that's what we saw. I think that covers that. Yeah,
no, you're right. You did a great job responding. I'm proud of you for being so level-headed. This is a new era of Journ.
Oh, thank you.
More respectful and mindful. Very demure.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, it's cool. I just wanted to say that like we said, Mark is very respected. He has a great track record. I think he can continue to be that without thinking that he has this, I don't even know what to call it, like a responsibility to be this gatekeeper or arbiter, protector of leaks or analysis. I mean, dude, you're not the only one who has seen early stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't get it's got to come from a place of something, right? But yeah, that's all.
It's always there's always an attempt to discredit, which is odd. If you don't agree or you've seen something else, that's one thing. But you got to pick one, because you said we faked the iPhone 17 Pro thing, and now iOS 19 we had an old build. So you got to pick one. Are we faking it? Yeah. Or are we seeing old material? I think there's a slight difference.
And in regards to an immediate an hour after posting to discredit, you could just let the cards play out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, history will tell.
If it's fake, you'll find out.
Yeah, people don't misremember things. Siri's activating. Great, thank you. Very, very cool, Siri. We know. I can't wait to complain more about Apple.
Yeah, I mean, he's I don't know if he's going to do this, but this would be my last challenge to Mark.
Okay.
If you're going to, because when he said the iPhone 17 Pro renders were fake, I said, okay, I'll bet my eyebrows. What are you betting, Mark? And of course, no response.
Oh, yeah, nothing.
So this time I'm not responding or doing anything like that, like on Twitter or whatever. But my challenge to you would be, if you are so inclined to correct us when we put out anything, when you say stuff like, expect more from Apple, more substantial features, what are those features? Tell us. What do you know?
Yeah, something.
What do you know? You can't just overstep and I guess gatekeep, like Brian said, and not he's just using his name, Mark Gurman, as a way to get in the story, because he didn't offer anything new. He just said, old build, gonna be new stuff. That's fair. What do you think the new stuff is? What have you seen? That's the only difference. I think you're not saying the new stuff because none of the new stuff is guaranteed. And if you said the new stuff, you might look silly later. So, of course there's going to be more stuff than we showed you. We're not Apple. All we can do is show you stuff that we were shown months ago. And who knows when that build was from? I do not know.
Yeah. Maybe don't reach out to our render artist on Discord.
Oh, yeah.
Try to get the source materials from him. Completely bypassing.
Yeah, very, very curious move from Mark Gurman. He reached out to Asher, who who of course did have other than Brian and I, is the only other person that has the source material.
The same ones we have, let's say. Yeah, to be clear.
Unedited source material for what we were shown for iOS 19 so that he could recreate it. We trust those people to keep that information between us. That is obviously, we are risking jobs. Jobs are on the line from people that have families and have very respected positions. That it would be reckless to abuse that responsibility. It's the same reason why we don't show you any of the real material. So if we're not going to let the real material get out there, we also can't just spread it.
Yeah.
So Asher is the only other person who has the responsibility of even needing to see that so he can recreate it.
Yeah.
And after our video went out, Mark did privately DM Asher and ask him for the originals. I would love to know why that is. Of course, Asher did not. Asher reached out to us, to be fair, and was like, hey, can I do this or should I do this? And obviously no. So he did not give the originals to Mark. It's just curious that Mark reached out for the fake originals.
If they were fake,
yeah.
Right?
And let's just say he did get the source material. What's the next post, Mark?
Yeah.
What is the...
I will say, just to extend an olive branch here and not to be so combative, right? Hey, Mark, we clearly have had some differences, FPT and Mark Gurman. But I'm not opposed to working with Gurman on stuff. I mean, he could have asked us.
To publicly ignore us and pretend like we don't exist. Don't name drop us. Don't say anything like that. But then to privately message the person that worked on the project with us to get the original material. I don't know, man. That feels icky and disrespectful in the community. I would never do that. I would never reach out to someone within Bloomberg and say, "Hey, have you seen what Mark had?" That. What?
Yeah. So I mean, I would love to. We got common ground. We could be good buds, right? There's no reason to be anything but that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If he got issues with it, he could go, well, let me see what you guys saw and we'll talk or something.
Yeah.
I'd be down to talk to Gurman. I mean, and I don't care about clout or whatever. I'm just a burn.
Yeah. It's just very odd behavior. And maybe we don't have to understand why it happens or why he's doing it or whatever. But other than the drama, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing a little early look at something that is not released yet.
Yeah.
And you'll see more of it in June, obviously.
Yeah. I too, piggybacking on Mark's vague comment about there being more from Apple, I fucking hope there is. Because, and even the things we have seen is we joke about it or talked about it being a very extensive update. And we saw some comments this is extensive? But you have to put it in context. You said,
same thing we said about familiarity.
Yeah, you can't be everything's round. All the menus are different.
Yeah,
all the moms who use their iPhones.
Yeah,
all the people, all the dads who have to put their glasses on to actually see. They're gonna lose their shit.
Yeah.
So
it's There were so many funny comments of what a waste of time this video was. That is how not substantial the update looks to nerds.
Everybody else?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's that's where Apple is right now. We put out a YouTube video where for the first time in maybe ever, or at least years, we showed you an early version of the software that's not out yet, and people thought it was a waste of time. That never happens where you get to see you get to see iOS, and still people are like, "That's it." I just wasted 6.5 minutes of my life on this video. What was the point of this video? What do you mean, what was the point?
Yeah.
To show you the thing.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
I wish there was more. The camera app, of course, obviously is substantial. That's a substantial update to the camera app. It's hard to. I don't know if I anticipate pushback from the community. I'm sure there will be some just because it's different. Even if it is better, it's different. And where'd you move my button?
Apple's losing some favor with their recent situations they find themselves in.
Yeah.
A crazy big departure on a easy to understand iOS would maybe push them right into a fire of outrage.
I think it was the Call to Mac podcast where they were like, John said, as far as he knows, don't expect any major AI updates. And they're like, we find that hard to believe. Literally how?
Yeah.
Why would you want them to announce anything AI-based?
No, give us a break.
The stuff that they announced last year, there's a good chance it doesn't get finished until next year. That'll be 2 years later. The stuff they announced for iPhone 16 will be on iPhone 18. You don't see a problem with that? Why would you want them to announce more until they have this finished?
Yeah, just finish what you got, then we'll see if we even want more. Like, my goodness.
That was a beefy...
That was pretty beefy
discussion.
It was. Usually we get the rough and tumble business out the way, but that was a good chunk of the episode.
That is the business.
Yeah, that was the business.
Anyway, what other than drama, what do you think about iOS 19? Is it cool? You like it?
I'm interested. I do like it. I've always liked that style of thing. It feels cleaner to me. There is an aspect of like, what's the term? Skeuomorphism to it all?
There's a name for this too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's names for so many.
A lot of people are referencing Windows Vista, like the old Arrow designs.
Yeah. I mean, I really liked Windows 7, and it's kind of okay. Whatever. I never thought there'd be that crossover in my mind.
Yeah.
iOS and Windows 7.
It's a lot to get in the same year a new iPhone redesign hardware-wise and redesign for software. That's a big year.
It is. All right. Are we taking a pause from Apple stuff now on the podcast?
If you'd like.
Yeah. Do you got more in the tank? You want to?
Nope, that's it. I covered all of the important things that I wanted to cover, at least for, the video we just released.
Yeah. Let's talk.
I'm so glad we have Recycle Bin. I'm so glad that we can put out the video, absorb the feedback, and then the people can get us for a half hour talking about and answering their questions and feedback.
Wow, almost exactly a half hour.
Wow,
good estimate.
Was I over or under?
Over by 3 minutes.
Damn, holy shit.
Yeah. Or no, wait, 33 minutes is what the anyway, let's have a fun story.
Okay.
Because we made a realization last night in our texting that we've been sitting on a very funny story for it's been over a year, close to 2 years.
Sitting on it, it's just been an inside.
You've been living it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's roll back the clock a bit on this. Okay. It's your story to tell.
4 or 5 years, maybe.
Really? That long? It's your story to tell. So
is it funnier if it's coming from you or from me?
From you.
Okay.
I want the whole the saga.
Okay, so
it's a great story,
and I didn't tell you until I was in the middle.
You
of
were deep into.
Yeah.
Okay, this is so dumb.
So when I moved to Arkansas 4 or 5 years ago or something like that, the house that I had gotten, the TV mount was so high I could not reach it, and I didn't have a tall enough ladder.
Could barely even touch where the TV would end up hanging. Yeah, it was high.
It was in the middle of COVID, so getting a handyman was very difficult. And if you could call a local handyman or something, they either weren't coming to your house because they weren't risking that, or they were scheduling you for months later. I wanted to put my TV up.
It was like trying to get a haircut back then.
Yeah. So stumbled on this app called Thumbtack that is like a la carte. You just say what you need. And what would you compare that to? Like a DoorDash, but for handymen?
Well, yeah. It's like kind of a modernized Craigslist almost too.
Yeah, you can say what your problem is, and then specialized handyman will come up.
Yeah,
and
could
tell
be
you,
minor
the
tasks.
Price and
it could be anything. It could be moving a bed. It could be whatever. Helping my kitchen cabinets are squeaky or some shit. Whatever. Yeah.
What I didn't know is like DoorDash, there's a couple different versions of the interface that you could find yourself in. There is you are the Dasher.
Yes.
And you are getting the Dash 2.
Yeah.
So when you're ordering something on DoorDash, you're the person who's getting Dash 2. Obviously, your DoorDasher sees something different in their app.
Mm-hmm.
Without knowing, I went through the entire sign-up process for Thumbtack. I put my email address, my name, my address, all of this stuff, along with phone number, along with what I needed fixed, which was specifically I need a 65-inch TV mounted about, say, 7 foot up.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Terrible position for a TV.
It was way too high. Yeah, bad decision.
And come to find out, after I do the entire sign-up process, it turns out I didn't sign up saying, "Hey, I need help."
Yeah.
I signed up saying I am the helper. So to this day, if anyone needs a TV mounted in that area, I get a notification. It's like, hey, do you want this job? Do you want to go mount this TV?
And you always send them to me.
Yeah, I do.
It's
like
so
every time I get them.
I think I can show this. So if you're in a particular area of Arkansas, you can request John Prosser, John P, to hang your TV.
Shout out Amy T.
Yeah, new Thumbtack opportunity. Amy T needs TV mounting in Cave Springs, and in a very Jern fashion. I don't even know if you.
I have made no attempts to fix this.
You have made no attempts to fix it. You have more than likely forgotten.
It's a nice surprise every time.
What login information you have used for that sign up.
I probably don't even have the email that I used anymore.
Yeah. And there's not even a way on that notification to like opt out.
Oh, yeah, no.
Like,
well, because I signed up as a handyman.
No, you just live it.
So, yeah, anytime someone... If you're looking, if you're in Arkansas, you're looking up a TV mounting service, you'll probably see my name pop up.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I am not coming.
And you must have terrible reviews.
I never responds. I mean, that's the typical review.
This guy
for me.
never responds ever. He's been on this app for 4 years. Doesn't take a
mounted
job.
a single TV. Oh, so
It's so
every time I'll just get a random text message, and it's such a treat. It's usually on a day where I need it most.
Yeah, and this goes into you being you. You get the notification, you laugh, send it to me, I laugh, and then move on.
Yeah.
And it's never going to be addressed. Yeah. You're going to go down with this service.
Probably.
Oh, man.
Oh, if anyone works at Thumbtack that is watching, he knows how to remove me. Don't remove me.
No,
it's funny.
Yeah, I like it. All right. On the fun side of things, I have a supplemental clip of shocking Survivor.
Oh, the Survivor portion of the show.
This is the last one though. I'm not gonna hit us.
We don't believe you.
I'm not gonna hit the audience too hard with Survivor stuff, but I thought you would laugh at this as well. So
I like laughing.
I'm excited about this. All right. It's gonna be 2 seconds of preface. Mm-hmm. This happens every season. This is on season 6. I'm gonna put it up in a sec. The finale of the season. It is this very cool mixture of produced reality television on location, and then I don't even know the logistics of how they did this back in the day, but they would air the produced edited version video and immediately transition to live feed. Very cool, and it would encompass, that would be how the show finishes. Okay. So the person who wins Survivor never actually knows they've won until like 2-3 months down the line when they get back to society.
Oh, really?
And it gets announced in front of a live studio audience.
Oh.
It's very cool, actually. And anyway. Okay. This is how they transition to that.
Okay.
Make sure my fucking audio's on. Here we go.
All right, this is the season 6 finale of Survivor. Jeff Probst
makes me laugh every time.
All the votes for the final winner are going to be read in the United States. So he is about to get on a jet ski and leave the voting area
in the Amazon
to make his way to the United States to read them live in front of a studio audience, okay? Look at how insane this is.
They edit and makes me laugh every time.
Look at what this is implying and how badass Jeff is.
There he goes.
All the way
We're just out of the Amazon, baby. There he goes, away. He's got the votes. He's going to tell us who is the sole survivor and is going to win $1 million. Those are
They're
our two
in the
competitors
Amazon.
there. Time flies. Days pass. There he is. Oh, it's day now. Where's he at? He's in open waters on that sting jet ski. Where are we going, Jeff? Oh, there's a ship. He's through the ocean, passing cargo ships.
Wow, incredible. And there wasn't any storms.
There he goes. Let's see where he is now.
He's pretty dry.
He traveled the whole way on that jet ski. What an incredible human.
The music.
This show is an absolute treat. Oh, it's so triumphant. There he goes. There's
Look
Jeff
at him.
Probst.
How fast was
The
he going?
real
to get
hero
to America?
survivor. Ripping that jet ski into the bay of New York City. The Statue of Liberty, baby. America.
Oh, dude, it makes me laugh
What happens
so
if he
hard.
doesn't make the trip?
Okay.
Do they finish the season?
I'm sorry. I have a question for you.
okay.
Do you think do you think he traveled that whole distance?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. The way you were asking, I really have... We were just upstairs
Yeah.
and talking about CHEEZ-ITs and how you wish we saw CHEEZ-ITs because that was our last episode.
Yeah.
And you said, "Oh, can I just make some in the air fryer we have? I can just cut some cheese and make some CHEEZ-ITs."
Uh-huh.
And that's when I went, "You know those are crackers, right?" And you went,
Crackers made of cheese.
and you went,
Crackers made of cheese.
"They're not made of cheese.
What it just says made with real cheese.
Made in cracker."
Okay,
in conjunction
but that
with real
doesn't
cheese.
explain. I saw a TikTok where a guy made his own Cheez-Its, and that's how he did it. He cut up little slices of cheese, poked a hole in the middle, and baked it. Cheez-It. Put some salt on it.
He's
at the
not
end.
CHEEZ-IT.
But
CHEEZ-ITs are made by mixing enriched wheat flour, cheese, and other ingredients, then rolling the dough into thin sheets. So I had to ask if you thought he actually traveled from the Amazon to New York City
I did not think
on a
that.
single jet ski trip. Okay.
I don't think that's remotely the same thing. I see how it could be easily misconstrued that Cheez-Its are cheese.
No.
Yeah.
Have you seen what happens to cheese when it is fried and like baked into form?
It's probably more delicious. Look up making Cheez-Its at home.
Okay, what you're referring to is called a cheese crisp. That's a thing that they will put on like burgers sometimes to add some fucking fun. They'll take they'll take like a cut of cheese,
Okay.
and they'll fry it or bake it or whatever, and it does not look at all like a cheese.
But I saw a TikTok, and everything on TikTok is real.
Oh God, is this?
Can you
How
look
is
up
this
a
the
YouTube?
same?
Hang on. Go to YouTube.
I'm pretty sure.
Type in "make your own cheese at home" and look at shorts.
I'm pretty sure
Make your own Cheez-Its.
Okay, I'm pretty sure Bon Appetit, the cooking channel, and one of the cooks from there, Claire, she's a pastry chef. I'm pretty sure she made Cheez-Its, and the goal of that show was to recreate popular snacks and make them better. Okay, hang on.
But if she didn't use the method that I'm talking about, then it doesn't prove my point.
So you want me to look up the exact wording?
Yeah, I just want to show you
Cheez-It.
that I had seen it from somewhere.
I don't need. Look, there's a guy.
Yeah, that looks like it.
Okay, hang on. Let me. Oh, good. It's nice and loud.
Yes, we love loud.
Great. Let me move it over.
I'm telling you guys.
This is a strange episode of. I can't believe you're the same guy who we just had a very intellectual discussion about Apple Leaks and Mark Gurman, and now we're
Yeah.
talking about are Cheez-Its made of cheese
I'm
for
balanced.
only?
I'm a balanced.
Out the viral 2-ingredient Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
First, I stacked up thin cheddar slices.
Yeah.
Cut it into
Yeah.
fours and used a straw to poke the holes.
Yeah.
Baked them on parchment paper for 25 minutes,
Yeah.
and when they were done, I added a sprinkle of salt, and they tasted amazing.
Okay, I mean
Those don't look like Cheez-Its, I'll give you that.
they aren't. I'm sure they're good, but that's not what
They
a
probably
fucking
taste
Cheez-It is.
more like Cheez-It.
I don't know, dude. Let's see what the
They
comments
probably
say.
taste like the Kansas City Cheez-It.
But they don't taste like Cheez-Its though. Top comment.
I would like to talk about something. This is terrible.
The top comment. Those aren't Cheez-Its. Yeah. Okay. You feel better about this or worse?
Worse.
Great.
You've made me feel worse. I hope you're proud of yourself.
I didn't do anything to you.
You did.
I was talking about Survivor.
Okay. But you changed the subject to Cheez-Its because you thought that I thought Jost, Jack,
What?
Joel.
Are you okay?
What's his name?
What?
Jack.
Who are you talking about?
The guy that takes what? The host of Survivor.
Oh, Jeff Probst.
Yeah.
Jost Jack. I thought you were having a stroke. Oh my God.
Oh, if I do have it on the show, please post it.
All right, we are moving on.
To what?
Well, I want to talk about wrestling
Oh,
because
okay.
something interesting has happened to
Okay.
me with wrestling
Okay.
stuff, and we're talking WWE.
Pray tell.
For whomever is new to the podcast.
Tell us, and Jost.
So you and I
want CHEEZ-IT.
You
so
specifically
bad.
have been a massive wrestling fan forever.
Yeah.
And I'm new to it. And
massive meaning my massive peenie. Why are you saying anything?
I don't. What do you want me to say to that?
Okay.
Okay.
You left me hanging.
I did. I don't know what. Can you move away from that?
Okay.
You really threw me off.
You like wrestling. I'm a
Yes,
massive
okay.
wrestling fan.
And I am a new fan.
Okay.
My first piece of wrestling content I really got into was like Bloodline stuff with Roman Reigns and his entire sort of career retrospective, and yeah, that was really cool, and that got me in the door. And then I saw, was it the 2023 Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
Okay, and it got me enamored with it. That was very fun. And since then, that's been a part of our lives.
Yes.
Watch SmackDown and Raw every time it comes on, and it's like a weekly thing we do. Recently, we've been so busy with other things that we've had to sort of take breaks from our schedule. And I was weirdly getting this like burnout for wrestling that it
Okay.
was like really bothering me. That I was like, why am I
I know what you mean.
like kind of wanting to skip episodes or like, whatever. Something happened where you have been unavailable to watch wrestling with me and Bridget, my wife. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm watching on our own. And I don't know how this happened, but that has like reinvigorated my love of wrestling.
Okay.
And I have gone down such a rabbit hole. I am technically back on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
I haven't been on Twitter. I deactivated my account.
Because it sucks.
It was when like
It sucks.
it was when the paid to be verified thing started, and it just
One of the worst things to ever happen to social media.
yeah, like a lot of things were changing, like the algorithms were changing, and like just the landscape of the service, like so the social media as a whole was changing, and I was just out. But I was realizing I was having a hard time following wrestling stuff just off of like the televised stuff I was watching, and then like Reddit is fine, like the wrestling subreddits, they're fine, but they're slow because they're fucking Reddit.
Okay.
And Reddit's always going to be slow no matter what. So I made myself a wrestling only Twitter account. It is my secret account. I only use it to follow wrestling related people, events, news outlets,
Okay.
stuff like that. I am having a fucking great time.
I'm glad. It's like
Yeah.
someone took your wrestling training wheels off.
It really is. And
You're just riding a bike.
I've also turned it into like my own interest because I don't know if anybody has experienced this. I don't know if you've experienced this, but I was sort of, because you kind of brought me into wrestling, I was kind of enjoying it. And it almost in the same way you have been enjoying it, trying to like find interest in the same things, the same storylines, the same, wrestlers. But I have like, you've never been like an NXT person.
I was.
Well, I mean, like current modern day.
Yeah.
Anyway, like from when I've gotten into it.
It was too much content.
Yeah, there's a lot of content, so you don't really dip your toes too much into
Yeah,
NXT.
I'm struggling just to see SmackDown and Raw.
You're not like keeping tabs on like the indie scene too much, or even AEW or anything. But I'm kind of like interested in that stuff, so I've been doing that, and like I'm having a great time.
I had a very strong AEW phase as well when it
first
kicked up. It was like it was a breath of fresh air, and it wasn't ruined yet.
I have a new appreciation, or like my real appreciation, I think, is weirdly for like the mid card stuff.
Okay.
And I think it's because everybody in the mid card is like, not saying that everybody at the top of the company, they don't have the drive, and like they clearly do. But like once you're up there, it's a different game, and you have like different priorities.
Yeah.
And like the story potentials and everything are so different. But when you're in the middle of things and you're like new, let's say, on a show,
Okay.
you gotta like, you're so much scrappier, and you gotta fucking show up.
Hungry.
Yeah, you're hungrier. Yeah, like the performers, the superstars are hungrier, and it's just fascinating. Like NXT is awesome. There are so many cool people on NXT that I cannot wait to see more of, or like when the draft happens if they get called up to the main roster.
Yeah.
But even then, I'm like, you could stay. That's cool. You guys are fucking killing it. I was watching some NXT Underground. You know what that is?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, do you?
No.
Are you saying you don't know what it is? Okay.
I've heard that it exists, but I haven't watched anything.
From what I've seen, it's a ring that has no ropes and no posts and stuff. And there is groupings of people all around close up on the ring, like it's more like a street fight.
Okay, that's
pretty.
crazy.
And the lighting is all super dramatic. Pretty fucking cool.
That's pretty sweet.
It's pretty cool. It's a totally different vibe. But no, I've been really finding my own path in this. It's been really fun.
Are you gonna wrestle?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think I ever would. It's like wrestling is my biggest escape.
Yeah.
And actually trying to do it, like, first of all, it's very, very hard. But but also, that makes me too much a part of it. That's like, I don't really have that much fun making videos and stuff. I used to do that stuff just for fun. Or it's like, I love Taco Bell. But I bet if I worked at Taco Bell, saw how everything was made, ate it every day, I wouldn't go there after work, too.
I see.
So I wouldn't want to be a wrestler and then also watch wrestling.
I can understand that. I think I have a different perspective on it.
I just want to leave and be entertained. And
yeah. I like the ins and the outs and like the technical aspects of it all. Like,
yeah, same.
Like a new, like, I'm a big fan of recently. Just for anybody wondering, did you miss your drink?
I went like this. I went to set it down, and I hit my mic and kind of got stuck.
My favorite wrestler, and it might be ridiculous, is Chelsea Green. Number one. I have my number 2 spot is very contentious, like huge. Like me and Bridget were talking about who, like, if we could meet like 3 people on the roster, I was struggling to only pick 3 because everybody seems so fucking cool in WWE and everywhere else. But yeah, anyway, Matt Cardona is awesome. I love, like, he's super outspoken about what he does. Yeah. And like his career path and stuff. Yeah. I would love for him to come back to WWE, but what he's doing around the world is very cool too. But just in general, I'm just finding my own, like, my own shit.
What would be your top 3 then? You just didn't say.
Well, this is hard. Chelsea number 1.
So you have 2 left.
Yeah. But it's rough. It's rough out there. I know. Randy Orton, I think, is in there.
That's funny. That's cool.
Did you not expect that?
No.
Oh.
They're just like, when names are mentioned, I see people differently than you just because of my context.
Oh, like the legacy?
Anytime I think Randy Orton, I think 09 Randy Orton. Like,
I don't think like vile heel Randy?
Yeah, I don't think this Randy Orton.
Oh, but I'm really big into, like, seeing the person behind the character now. And, like, that's one of the reasons I'm such a big fan of Chelsea is, like, just her, like, work method anyway.
Have you dabbled in any of the podcasts? Like, Broken Skull Sessions from Stone Cold on, like, Peacock is incredible.
Oh,
it's just Stone Cold talking to the wrestlers. Some that
does sound
even
cool.
Some that had, like, left, that weren't actively on the roster anymore. And, he's talked with everyone important.
No, I really haven't considered that. I've been watching a lot of Chris Van Vliet and
also cool.
Sheamus's. It's not a podcast.
The Celtic Warrior workouts.
Those are incredible content. He just had CM Punk on.
Yeah, I saw that. His arm pumps.
Yeah, very cool. I've been marathoning those.
Why is Chelsea Green dressed like Mick Foley? Just the confusion.
Yeah, people got offended at that comment, which is funny.
He was just confused.
I know. I'm also being exposed to, like, I don't know whoever's on Twitter or X and is in the wrestling sphere is a completely different audience that's on Reddit, and it's a lot of people, like,
I know.
Totally different takes.
Yeah,
and it's fascinating to see. But Number 3, man, I don't know. Like it's hard.
Really?
Because I'll think of somebody and then I'll immediately I'll be like, oh, I just remembered this person. You know, like I immediately want to say LA Knight.
Sean.
Yeah,
You wanna
Sean.
Go see Sean.
But like, there's people who are at the top of the roster. They're amazing, like Cody and Roman. Seth is. I almost want to put Seth there in my number 3 spot.
Seth is very cool. My top 3 are easy. Roman, John Cena.
Oh, Cena too. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Is he in your top 3?
I don't think he could be, but I just don't know him that well.
Oh,
personally yet.
It would be Roman, Cena, Undertaker. They're the most influential, like in my life, to my own like fandom.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. I think they're top 3 influential, kind of in the major entirety of WWE and wrestling.
Yeah,
but another thing for me is like, it's not that I don't find the earlier eras of wrestling interesting. Like everybody always talks about the Attitude Era and stuff, and I think that's great.
It's overhyped a bit.
I think it was an incredibly like important era for wrestling.
Yeah.
But just for me personally, it felt like everybody was so balls to the wall and like, you know, everybody nowadays is so safety focused and like health focused. I don't know. I like that a lot. I like how positive it feels like the industry is. And like that's kind of a modern thing.
Yeah, without the Attitude Era.
Exactly.
Like if I had a 4th, I would choose Triple H just because he really.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, he and Stone Cold really pioneered that environment.
Just to be clear,
for better or worse,
I love Roman, and he would be in my top to meet, but I know what I'd get from Roman, and it would be Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief. He wouldn't
you don't think you get Joe?
Dude, I would not get Joe. Oh, I forgot his last name for a second. Anoa'i.
I think you would. He seems very like in meet and greets and stuff, very good at in and out of character stuff. Like
really?
when you go to take a picture or something, he snaps into character and then.
Oh, I see. Well, that's cool. I'm happy to know that because I've seen him on podcasts and stuff. Him and Paul.
Oh
and, dude,
kayfabe for days.
They live it.
That Paul Heyman is. I mean, Roman's under Paul, so that's of course Paul Heyman is the best at dancing the line between kayfabe and not.
Yeah.
You're always
crazy.
like you really believe that's just Paul Heyman.
Oh man, but yeah, no, it's been really fun. I've been having a great time.
Another good one to meet.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like
another pioneer.
He definitely is. But yeah, I think
I would meet Brock and ask him why he does the things he does.
Oh God!
Why did you have to pee there?
What a transition!
Well, if you didn't, you'd still be here, and it would be cool. But it's not cool now if you come here because you like peeing on things.
I have a really like big appreciation for a lot of the new people, like Carmelo Hayes.
Okay, yeah, and, really great. Have you seen stuff with Trick Williams?
I've been trying to. He's on my list.
Hard to take him away from NXT because he's a draw for them.
Yeah.
We're interrupting your regularly scheduled program to talk to you about today's sponsor,
Mint Mobile. Thank you for sponsoring this episode of Recycle Bin. Do you say data or data?
Data.
Well, at my house, we say data, just like that.
Okay.
And for the longest time, I thought paying a fortune on my monthly data plan was just normal. It's not, turns out.
It's really not.
No. That was until I found out about Mint Mobile and their premium wireless plans that start at just $15 a month. Mint Mobile, utilizing the power of one of the best networks in the country.
The nation's largest 5G network.
Exactly.
Fastest, largest, one of them.
That's what I'm saying. And very cheap.
It's like...
But you know what? We don't use that word. We use affordable.
Yeah, that's what we do here. This is... Okay. Ad copy aside, this is one of the biggest life hacks imaginable. Everyone needs a cell phone. That is a necessity for utility that you have, and everyone is usually paying too much and getting too little. That doesn't need to happen. For just $15 a month, you can get Mint Mobile and sacrifice nothing. You can buy your phone from them. You can bring your own phone. The only thing you're sacrificing is your wallet's thickness, because it's about to be thicker because you're not spending as much. $15 a month. Don't overpay. Shop your data plans now at mintmobile.com/recyclebin. That's mintmobile.com/recyclebin.
upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, 5 gigabyte plan required. It's equivalent to $15 a month. A new customer offer for the first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. Guys, seriously, go check out Mint Mobile if you haven't already. They are the GOAT for wireless. And save yourself some money, okay?
And I don't know if you know this, but all plans come with high-speed data, talk, unlimited talk, text, delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can bring your own phone, ditch the overpriced wireless plan, and get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile, just $15 a month. That's mintmobile.com/ what is it?
Recycle bin.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mint Mobile. And on that note, a kind of interesting announcement for the podcast.
Drum roll.
Go ahead. We are going to be doing Recycle Bin Mania.
Recycle Bin Mania.
Yeah.
It's kind of exactly what you think it is.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe not.
Well, let me pull it up. I have a little thing written here.
Okay.
Essentially, Recycle Bin Mania will be where some unresolved things we've talked about, or like feuds, you could call it, will be resolved, and just happens to coincide with WrestleMania.
Okay. Imagine that.
Yeah. So WrestleMania is on the weekend of, April 20th?
I think.
So this will be uploaded on the Monday following WrestleMania. We're talking stuff like new socks versus clean socks.
Okay.
Bacon versus sausage.
Okay. The heavy hitters.
Yeah. Maybe Jon versus Gurman. Who knows? But one thing we will have, which I think is hilarious.
Okay.
We are going to actually create costumes and cut some promos against each other, but we'll talk more about that. So this is the announcement to follow.
This is like every promo ever.
Exactly.
You're announcing that there's going to be an announcement.
Exactly. I'm trying to keep it in theme.
Okay.
So await more details for Recycle Bin Mania.
And awaiting right now.
And what that means.
Start awaiting now.
Yeah. It's going to be ridiculous. We're going to have some fun stuff, like I said. Feuds being resolved, but also some audience interaction. So some things you guys get to decide. But yeah.
Well, speaking of audience interaction.
404-919.
5530.
Damn it. Now all these numbers are mixed up and
404-919. 5530. That's the number to call in, leave a voicemail, ask your question, and please, for the love of God, try to keep it around 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Please,
Yeah.
please.
We love you all.
Please, why are you talking for 3 minutes?
Yeah, we love you all, but we gotta keep them short sometimes. So, with that being said,
because a lot of you are great in the community and are asking great things, but we can't include you on the show if you take up 3 minutes of the show. You know what I mean? We gotta keep the train moving. So if you have a question, ask it as quickly as possible, because a lot of these questions are good, and we want you to be on the show.
You know, it's funny. I don't know if it's because of our complaining about Apple, but all of our voicemails today are basically some complaining about Apple, but they're all about Apple.
Oh, there goes half the audience. The half of the audience is here for Survivor talk and wrestling and
I don't know if that's half the audience.
tech podcast.
Maybe.
Okay,
Yeah, see,
here comes the tech portion.
All right, let's keep it a little. Here, we'll do this one first.
Hey, my name is Singh. I'm calling from New York. A couple of days ago, I read an article on MacRumors.com about like an iPad, foldable iPad Pro with which would be maybe running Mac OS. So if you could kind of, get into a bit more details about it, if you know anything about it, or, it sounds like a really interesting product because I currently use both Mac and an iPad. And if that were like a single device, that would be really good. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Singh. I pulled up this article that he's referencing, I'm pretty sure. And we've been hearing rumors about this for a really long time. It's this 19-inch foldable display coupled thing.
Yeah.
This goes all the way back to Display Daddy.
Ross Young.
Ross Young, thank you.
I think Quo was the first person to talk about this years ago. But
yeah.
So, behind the scenes, there was a few foldables being worked on. There's 2 foldable iPhones. There's like a one that the crease is in the middle and it opens up horizontally.
Yes.
And then the clamshell
like a
style
hot dog.
phone.
There's a hot dog and a
hamburger. The clamshell style is like the Z Flip from Samsung.
There you go. Yeah.
And that is the version I believe that is going to. I'm not too sure. I can't remember which one made it, but the only one of those makes the cut and is released next year.
Yeah.
There's another giant foldable,
19 inches.
where,
reportedly.
as far as I understand, it's not a foldable iPad. It's a foldable MacBook.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a MacBook with a keyboard on the screen. That can the bottom of the screen can change into anything, and then it's. I don't know when that's coming out, but
there's no way there's not going to be a date on that until they are showing it to us.
Yeah, there's as far as I know, that's why it doesn't run iPadOS. It's a MacBook.
I personally, I got to be honest, I don't think this would ever come out.
Ever. Okay.
There's so many. You use macOS.
Mm-hmm.
I use macOS every day. That is not an operating system made for touch.
Not yet.
Touching. But even imagine how many changes would have to occur.
They did it with Windows.
I mean, the audience could speak for themselves, but I've used Windows in like a touch environment. Dude, I hate it. I hate everything about it.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I like about touchscreen on a Windows, like a Surface Book or whatever, is it's fun to draw things.
Okay.
With a pen. Or like sitting like this and you're looking and you're scrolling like this.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. And
having not a physical keyboard sounds terrible.
Yeah. And
terrible.
I'm sure,
terrible.
I'm sure there's an Apple way around it. Maybe.
Have you tried typing on an iPad without a physical keyboard?
Yeah, it's not good. It's
not fun.
No. I applaud the iPad power users. The people who swear by iPadOS and that's their main workhorse for productivity.
Yeah, I think especially if you're not super ingrained in macOS, that's a very easy thing to become ingrained in.
Yeah.
Using iPadOS, when they say iPad can't replace computers, that's a goofy sentiment for me. It replaces computers for lots of people all the time.
Sure.
Computers.
And it's better at
your
it
phone
now.
in your pocket is a computer. I don't know what you're talking about. Phones replaced computers a long time ago.
Yeah.
That argument that's gone. I know nerds see computers as the MacBook or an iMac or something. But lots of people can use just an iPad and iPadOS. And for those of you that don't need macOS, light blinked. Son of a bitch.
I'll fix it for next time.
Hate this.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I don't think we're ever going to see a massive 19-inch foldable from Apple. So many things would have to change.
I said the same thing about the foldable iPhone, and apparently that's coming next year, supposedly, according to Mark Gurman.
Yeah, I mean, I could see foldable iPhone, foldable iPad, for sure. I think that would be money left on the table if they didn't announce those and show them off.
Better be good.
But yeah, man, I don't know, though.
I'm so over foldable stuff, but okay.
Clearly, there's a sizable portion of the audience who is not.
I guess so.
I feel like that speaks to
boredom.
The tech-focused demographic more so.
I think it's just boredom. They want change for the sake of it.
Do you consider yourself to be an enthusiast anymore? Or are you just a everyman?
I'm a mature enthusiast. That's what I like.
You're old?
Yeah. I've been... I was where everyone else is. I think I just speed ran everything because of what we do.
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
Being exposed to a lot of stuff through over time from companies that will send you anything and everything. You just jaded is a good word, I think.
Yeah,
I don't think it makes me less of an. Maybe it does. I don't know. What do you think?
I think what I've done, I would agree, mature enthusiast, but I've also done a good job of locking into what I actually like from technology. And I used to be the person who would get excited about every little, I'm not throwing shade, I promise. I would watch religiously Linus Tech Tip videos for updates for what's Intel doing? Or what's AMD doing? Stuff like that. Or I would get really into the performance metrics and Geekbench's scores and all that stuff. But everything has just gotten so good. And you haven't really been privy to the PC gaming crowd.
Thank God.
So much of like performance now is ingrained for like AI powered stuff, like DLSS with NVIDIA. It's the closest thing we have to like computational black magic. Like you can just you could be trying to play a game at 4K resolution and you're struggling to get like 40 FPS.
Yeah, is that what
and
the
then
thing that generates the frames and stuff?
Yeah, frame gen. You can toggle one setting and with like minimal to no latency be like 120 FPS and it looks great.
That's cool.
It's fucking crazy.
There's a really good quote from Chris Pirillo from back in the day.
Really?
That is, tech is an enabler, not a destination.
There you go. That's a great point.
So I think,
smart guy.
Yeah, I think that's like for a long time I have not seen tech as the destination. Like I don't get excited over the product and the like a feature.
Yeah.
It's just a tool.
Yeah.
And
I agree with you.
The frame gen thing, the game is the destination. The frame gen is just a cool enabler. That's really neat.
It is cool. And everything is just becoming so incredibly performance packed and like better than we need it to be, kind of. Yeah, it's leaving the realm of like consumer electronics really quick.
I think that is what took me out of the care. Because I used to care a lot. And it was because it was like each year there were massive leaps in a good direction. Like there were things that I wanted to do that I could not do because of my hardware limitations and the budget that I had. But as the years have gone by, that gap is so narrow.
It's like almost non-existent. Yeah.
Yeah, there are things that I struggled to do as a kid with a computer that I man, if I just had this, I could do this, and that kids these days can just do on their iPhone. They can just take out their iPhone SE and do it. It's crazy. I think that's the biggest thing that has. I don't get as excited because I can do all of the things that I want to do on what people would consider now a simple device. Where that wasn't the case before. That was, you needed a specific tool to
accomplish
what at the time were like simple tasks. Like it took me days to make a single YouTube video. I used to record it on a DVD handheld Sony Handycam. They had those mini DVDs.
Yeah.
Record to a mini DVD, which you couldn't record a lot to, and then I'd have to rip it, put it in my Windows PC, and rip the file from the DVD to the computer to as a digital file that you could open up in a folder somewhere, which took forever.
Oh yeah,
and it was insane. And this was before Sony had just integrated that into software. You're like, oh, you want it on your computer? Here you go. No. You had to, as you would with any DVD, rip this video from the DVD onto your computer. That would take forever, like so long. And then
limited to like the read speeds and shit like that of your disk drive.
And then I'd have to usually convert that video to something I could edit,
right?
To like an WMV file or something.
Yeah.
I don't even think I was using MP4 yet. So then I could edit in Windows Movie Maker. I couldn't watch the video back in real time.
Oh yeah, no.
It was like frames at a time, and if you wanted to see anything for real, you'd have to render it out and wait 10 hours. There were so many times where I waited 10 hours for a video to render just so I could watch it in real time. Not as the final render so I could post the video, just so I could watch it in real time to see the mistakes that were made.
Yeah.
So I could go back and fix them, wait another 10 hours, and then uploading to YouTube that was another...
Oh, yeah.
That took hours and hours and hours and hours. A 3-minute video would take forever. And I was uploading before YouTube was... I was uploading to Google Video before they bought YouTube, to Metacafe, to Rever.
Rever.
It took so long to do that. And that it would take long even if you edited nothing. So the fact that you can download Video Leap on your iPhone or LumaFusion, or is LumaFusion video or
there's tons of stuff.
Photo. I can't. You can download apps that just edit full-on videos with multiple video and audio tracks, and it's all in real time and on a solid-state drive in your phone. And you got a bunch of gigabytes of RAM in there. I didn't even have a single gigabyte. No. I had like a couple hundred megabytes of RAM or something.
Yeah. Now the problems are like. They're not fun problems to fix.
Yeah.
It's like at the top for our like major workflow for like a big episode that's edit heavy. It's like, Final Cut's getting real unstable.
Yeah.
Gotta can't wait for them to get a new Mac Studio out so we can like get this running smoother. It's not like it's
very
it's
rarely
very
are we
small.
limited by the actual hardware anymore.
Yeah, it's crazy. Not to change gears real quick, I want to go back to a topic real quick
Okay.
because we have quite a few fans that are very into wrestling, and I don't want to snub them.
Okay.
We did not give any opinions on WrestleMania.
Like what we think of the current card?
Yeah.
I think it's all right.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a hot take, I think.
Well, remember how last year I said you're just incredibly lucky?
Oh.
Like that WrestleMania was
40.
insane. 39 was pretty good. Last year was very good. You don't get A+ WrestleManias like that every year.
Okay, I see.
And so this is more of a regular WrestleMania feel for me. Like
Really?
this is why last year was so like captivating, because this is the WrestleMania I would usually expect, and we got far surpassed that.
Okay, so what are you most excited about, and what are you least excited about currently?
That's really hard.
Yeah.
The matches are, you could argue we're getting some dream matches. Roman, Seth, CM Punk, that's a dream match.
Yeah, in a way, people probably are pretty upset about it being a triple threat, I think.
Yeah, that's like WrestleMania last year, the main events were so impactful because how emotional the storytelling had been with years of investment into them.
Okay.
This is a strange WrestleMania where like they just made the card a week ago, basically.
That's what it feels like.
It's like they just generated stories for WrestleMania instead of the story being told throughout the entire year, and this being the season finale, the big payoff. These are just what feel like to me attraction matches. Just for this, that were just created for this WrestleMania. Like the triple threat is a very good example. If this was the culmination of Roman versus Seth,
yeah, I could see that.
That's an emotional story that has been built up. They would have had to commit to, like they were dropping, just reminding you that story existed every few months. If that started to really ramp up and get emotional right before WrestleMania, that's incredible. That's an incredible payoff. It just feels like they're blowing that opportunity this year. And I love CM Punk, and I'm glad he's in a WrestleMania main event, most likely, but it just feels like he's tacked on there.
It does, yeah, for sure.
If there's such an emotional story like Roman and Seth, with that many years of history, that deserves to be paid off one-on-one.
That should be the sort of major event.
And I'm sure we'll get that event. Like I'm sure this is just a first meeting.
I hope so.
The story will keep going, but still, you only have one time to do it one time. And I feel and the John Cena stuff is incredibly cool, but now that I've cooled down from that, it feels rushed. And I feel like the last two promos from Cena on Raw were the exact same thing, copy paste.
They were a little similar.
It doesn't feel very emotionally driven, and I'm starting to not buy it. Like the first time I get it. The second time, it feels forced shitting on the fans.
Yeah.
And like, you did this to me. Okay. What does that have to do with Cody? And what does that have to do with Rock?
That's fair.
He earned the WrestleMania match. He didn't have to turn heel to get into the match.
Yeah.
He, as a face, won the Elimination Chamber. There was no point to siding with The Rock. Like, he had the match anyway.
That's true. You're right.
You know what I mean? Like he already earned. He was facing Cody at WrestleMania anyway. If he was losing and stuff, and then needed The Rock to insert himself into the match,
right?
Okay, now
the
we got a
corporate
story.
Champ, yeah.
But he earned the spot fair and square, and then turned heel. And then as the weeks progress, for him to address him turning heel, Rock has been mentioned not once.
Yeah, I saw a report.
Like, that was the whole reason he turned, supposedly.
I saw a report, and I don't know, you got to take everything with a grain of salt, but it said that Cena isn't currently booked for any shows until WrestleMania.
I wouldn't be surprised.
There was some discussion that I thought was good on Reddit talking about how it felt like they had to cut the build for WrestleMania up, almost like they built for the Netflix debut, and then they're having to quickly rebuild for WrestleMania. And I think that's accurate to say. It feels like they almost like blew half of the load for Netflix.
But I mean, it doesn't feel like the major beats are being taken care of. Like Roman Cody 3 would have been an amazing.
Yeah.
Like if that's what you're building, the redemption of Roman Reigns, that should have been happening. Like,
I see what you're saying,
and it's happening, but it's happening so slowly. Like we need Paul to abandon him.
Yeah.
We need this is the ideal redemption arc for Roman Reigns, and how you bring all of the stories together into one. Okay,
lay it out.
So you have, and this might be what's happening over the next year or so, but it just okay. So Roman loses the belt after those 4 years of being champ, being a heel, and just taking from everybody, and okay, now you finally acknowledge him. He drops the title
right
because of the Seth thing. We should be
that should be
the fact that Roman Reigns didn't use his rematch clause, something that every champion would do, especially if they lost unfairly.
Yeah, people have been talking about that.
That's odd. He's just like, okay, yeah, I guess I'm not champ now.
Liv too.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of that.
Like
talk.
If you were champion for 4 years, you were headed towards the all-time record of holding it for, you're not going to beat Bruno Sammartino, but getting close, quote unquote close. To be screwed in that match through an emotional decision you made, and then not explore that further is crazy. So you would expect that to happen, like Roman to go after Seth first. That'd be the first thing to do. But instead he went after Solo, and now the Solo thing is
it's like he got stuck on a side quest or something.
He should, like, his first order of business should be go after Seth. You cost him everything. He lost everything because of you.
I want to watch what you're booking.
Yeah,
right
go after Seth. I think he returned too soon also. To be champion for 4... I realize we need Roman Reigns to book stories and sell tickets.
Yeah.
But he should have been gone for almost the entire year. He should be coming back around now, coming after Seth.
That would be cool.
And then immediately deliver us Roman versus Seth. That you didn't take any pause from that story almost. Like you went right back to the emotional bullet points, and that's when it's like at its emotional peak, paid off with a match at WrestleMania. That's not what's happening, unfortunately. Like him coming in to when it was Seth versus Punk on Raw and just beating the fuck out of Seth, even though he gave Seth the match basically.
No, that was cool.
That's sweet. That's how you should have returned.
Yeah. Trying to kill him.
And then you have Paul turning on Roman is ideal for the story. You need to isolate Roman.
Yeah, something's cooking with that, but it's taken forever.
Yeah, Paul leaves Roman. I think Paul should have left Roman so long ago.
We thought he did
when he got fucking blasted through the table.
Yeah.
Even after every week he was calling Roman and Roman wasn't there to help him, and Paul has every right to just leave his ass now.
Yeah.
Leave Roman, teach him a lesson, have Roman come beat Seth up because that's all he's focused on. He's so emotional. He's going after Seth. Have Rock come in. Rock did all of this shit last year, and Cody still won anyway.
That's true.
So now Rock can force a corporate champion where it should be Cody. Cody should turn.
That would be kind of sick.
Cody should have turned, or sure, give us Cena that turns to get into the match and then make him the corporate champion, which forces Roman on his way to get the title is with the entire system against him, including his family, Dwayne.
Yeah.
Where before you even get to the champion, you have to give us the dream Rock versus Roman match.
Yeah.
That's next year's So this year's Rock versus Seth. You can drag this redemption arc out for 3 years. Rock versus Seth this year for WrestleMania, or no, Roman versus Seth this year for WrestleMania. Roman wins. Build it to there's a corporate champion that is taken over for the entire year. No one's getting a fair shot. Roman has to fix the establishment now. He's coming in. He has to beat Rock first. You finally get Rock versus Roman for WrestleMania next year. He beats The Rock. Give him his redemption arc against the system and the corporate champion, and have him take back the belt. for WrestleMania 43.
And
Roman Reigns is champion again. The amount of payoff that would be.
That does sound... You have... you didn't mean to do this, but you have made me less excited for this year's WrestleMania.
Roman's champion for 3 years and then takes 3 years to regain what was his.
Yeah.
Like, that's the story.
Mm-hmm.
And by then Roman will probably be not near retirement, but even more part-time than he is now.
Yeah, he'll be clocking out sooner.
That to me feels like the complete story of what they tried to start telling. And it feels like... I find it hard to believe that Roman doesn't know the end of the story, but it kind of feels like they're taking some weird liberties here and there, just doing random stuff.
It feels like they're being like, I wouldn't be surprised if Roman and Paul and whomever have like as much creative control as physically possible, but there has to be some level of like the board, like TKO or something being like, all right, well, the Netflix deal's coming up. We got to do something for this.
Yeah.
What can you give us now? Or like,
it's like,
and in general,
you know how Rock is doing that? He was cutting, he's like slicing his throat, and he's referencing 1, 2, 3, and that for after a Cena turn, he references 2. One of those turns should have been Paul. Paul should have gone with The Rock, sided with The Rock. It's like literally everyone turned against Roman for a reason. Like, for all of the shit he pulled previously. And now he has to actually redeem himself. It doesn't feel like that's happening now. It just feels odd. Like, that's the true babyface Roman. Somebody that is still being questioned for the choices he had made. And then to fully redeem himself, becoming champion on his own. After all those years of utilizing his family and literally using them to keep his championship most of the time. To force him to do it on his own over the span of 3 years? Come on, brother.
Well, that's how you...
It's right there.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how you build a real good babyface is you put him against, like, insurmountable odds. And you put him...
Yeah, that's what they did with Cody last year. It was glorious.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Well,
anyway.
I feel like Recycle Bin wrestling fans are eating good now.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's how I think you should have booked WrestleMania, and it's not, so...
So, what are you most excited for then, if you have anything?
I'm Roman Reigns all day, every day.
Yeah, just whatever Roman's involved with.
9th or 10th main event, I can't remember. There would have to be a substantial swerve or something that happens in the Cena-Cody match.
We don't have a lot of time left.
I know. No, like, I don't think there is enough time before Mania. I'm saying during the WrestleMania match.
During the match.
If it's going to main event Mania, night 2, there's got to be a substantial needle move in a story direction. It's something crazy has to happen.
Yeah.
And I think Cody should not walk out with that belt. I think he's gonna. I think they're making it very obvious that Cody's winning.
It feels that way.
Cena's promos of, I'm going to take the belt, I'm going to retire as champion.
Ruin wrestling. When
a heel says that, they don't also win. Like, when heels are making guarantees like that, they don't also get to win. So I think Cena's losing that goddamn match, and that shouldn't happen.
I guess we'll have to see. Recycle Bin Mania is going to be very weird.
Oh yeah, because I'm gonna end you.
Well, I was meaning we're gonna record it before WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah,
and then we're not gonna be able to talk about it until like. After. Yeah, that's going to be... Maybe we'd have to record that podcast like after WrestleMania somehow. Probably. And like rush it out.
Yeah.
Because,
we do that. We've done that. Monday record, Monday post. Okay, next voicemail.
Yeah, we might need to like insert that back when we were talking wrestling. That was a major departure for voicemails.
I think it's fine.
Okay.
What time is it?
Let's see. Got a few more.
Okay.
I like this one.
Hey, Jon and Burn, this is Ren from Miami. In the spirit of unity, I wanted to ask, what technologies do you think Android phones and iPhones should share with each other, whether they be hardware or software, so that humanity could progress as a species? Also, come down to Miami and I'll hook you up with Cuban food. Thanks.
Bro, that sounds great.
I love Temu food?
Cuban food.
Oh.
I was about to say I love a Cubano. It's a great sandwich. Man.
Share.
I think that one of the best things Android has done, and it's not, okay, this isn't the operating system, right? This is the Android device makers have done this. But I'm a big fan, actually, of how they are trying to win people over with, like, kind of out there hardware. You know?
Okay.
They take a lot of risks.
Yeah.
Whether it's, like, more cameras, more cares, or the foldable shit. I think, I mean, maybe I don't want this, seeing how Apple has been with new features, but I kind of wish they would kind of try harder with off the wall.
What do you think Apple trying harder for Apple is still for Apple? What feature that exists now could they share that's better for humanity that it shares? Because I don't know if I have. I think it's completely fair that the features are separate. Like, I'm not going to say that everyone should be able to use AirDrop or everyone should be able to use iMessage. That's insanity.
I guess I was more thinking like cues from each But yeah,
well, they're always taking cues. Like, what existing feature would make everything better?
Make everything better?
I would say continuity.
Somehow. Actually.
Like,
that's a good one.
If you're on a Windows PC and you have an Android phone, you should be able to access your messages without any weird apps or workarounds or anything like that.
Same thing with
But again, yeah, it's I don't know.
Yeah, I think some type of like trusted continuity with Windows through Apple would be good too. There is some minor integration with Windows and Apple with iPhones.
Yeah,
but like not to the same level.
No, I'm talking like Android. I feel like that's a big feature that they miss out on. Like if you, that's just a thing that just works if you have a Mac and an iPhone.
Yeah, that's fair.
But again, that's a Microsoft and Google thing that would have to be worked out. And there are ways to do that, but there are no native ways.
You know what? I'm going off the rails with this. I think AirDrop should be shared. That'd be crazy.
Everyone should have AirDrop?
Could you imagine if you could AirDrop anything to anybody?
That'd be pretty sweet.
RCS being shared now is pretty fucking good.
Yeah, that's good. I would have said that, yeah.
RCS is great, and getting files, like, even still with RCS, transferring, giving videos, like... The best workaround I've found for sharing a photo from like my iPhone to like my mom on her cheaper Android phone, I gotta like disable live photo because it sends that shit as a video, you know? Mm-hmm. But like having better interplay with that, even through RCS and all of that, and like, at
least having the network identify what's being sent to translate it the best way possible.
Communication. There you go. Bam.
Okay,
it's a great answer. Thank you for the question, Ren, and I want to take you up on that Cuban food offer.
Hello, I'm Tyler, and I'm from Utah.
Tyler.
And first of all, I recently started watching Thumbtack, and honestly, it is just such.
He's praising Front Page Tech. He said he's recently been watching Front Page Tech.
Okay, he said he's been using Front Page Tech. And
I've had to decipher his message, but yeah.
The Fun Tech channel. And my question is about Apple events. So recently I've noticed that Apple has defaulted to uploading videos to YouTube or like their product page or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'm actually kind of confused about that because the last proper Apple event was the iPhone 16 event back in September. And then they released a few videos like featuring the new Macs and introducing the world to them in November. And they did so with the iPhone 16e last month. And I'm just kind of confused about that because I really love the feeling of sitting down for an Apple event and watching what could be unveiled. And I also love like the feeling of getting an event invite and just being like, oh my gosh, something is about to happen. So I'm just kind of sad about that. And I wanted to know your thoughts about that. And like, I wanted to know like, what could this mean for like future product announcements from Apple?
The switch from saving everything for events into press releases, into videos, you know, we saw a major thing with the iMacs and like the Mac Mini.
I think we're cooked.
You think we're cooked?
Oh, it's done.
Yeah. It's easier for them to put out little videos.
Not just easier, it's smarter.
Well, yeah. Cheaper, shareable.
Okay, so we like getting invites and watching the event. the majority of their customers don't know anything about that. They don't know an invite came out to watch an Apple event.
Yeah.
And even if they do, a lot of them don't have 2 hours to sit there, 3 hours to sit down and watch a whole Apple event to see everything that happened.
Those are for us.
It's like,
Yeah.
hey, did you see the new iPhone? No. Like, what's up? You could either, as a friend, you can either send the product page, I don't know, Verizon link, a T-Mobile link or something, or some article, or you send them the whole event and go, timestamp 1:35. Like,
yeah.
it's way more convenient to go, Apple uploaded this, there's a new iPhone, and it's 11 minutes.
Yeah.
Not only that, but also the press time. Like, doing stuff like this and splitting it up. Think about WWDC. It happens, and in real time, there's I don't know, an outlet might post 50 articles in the same day about that one event.
Yeah.
And then you have to try to decipher and find the article you want to read and
Go
see
through
what
roundups, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas if you split it up and announce one thing per day, you have even coverage. On Monday, only iMacs are being covered. On Tuesday, only Mac Mini is being covered. Every product gets its own individual press time, which means it gets the most attention possible as an individual product to ship and sell.
Yeah.
That's just that.
They did that with John Turnus with it was the Mac event or event week of
we were all
whatever.
expecting an October Apple event, and that
Yeah.
didn't happen. Instead, each product got its own separate thing, and they, of course,
each day. I think it was.
That's just how it is now, especially
Yeah.
when there's no massive like continuity change amongst all the products. If they're all, especially minor updates or spec updates, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think the only major events that we can expect here on out are WWDC and maybe an iPhone event.
Probably.
Like the
That makes
September
sense.
Apple event. So they can announce, because that's like very consumer focused, Apple Watch.
They're kind of they're ingrained at that point, WWDC especially.
I would not be surprised though at all if there's no more standalone iPhone events. If those also get broken up into videos. WWDC I think will always be, because it's for this crowd.
And it's more than just product announcements. It's like it's a developer conference.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
think that
whole
will
thing.
always be a developer conference. That might I easily see a day where that's the only quote unquote Apple event every year, all year.
No, I think there's it's you could kind of see it happening. Like Apple would always, even after an event, they'd be like, "Here's the Apple event summed up in 5 minutes." Like that's an Apple video that they would upload.
Yeah.
Or you would get the more focused standalone commercial-esque videos. Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think the era of like tune into a special Mac event is done. Especially like COVID killed the live event aspect, somebody in front of a crowd.
And TikTok killed the Apple event.
Right, pretty much. Our
Everyone's
attention
spans are
yeah.
shorter and
Yeah, shareability. I'm sure there's probably a way you could like retroactively look back and track the analytics of like the videos and their performances. Probably much better. Like they know. I mean, Apple knows. They wouldn't be doing this if it didn't work for them already.
Yeah.
Sad news. Sorry, Tyler.
For us, it's sad, but it's for a company that is basically just a marketing machine. This is the smartest, most practical move.
Lastly, but very much not leastly, we have a check-in with a recycle bin regular.
Hey again, it's the camper pooper.
The camper pooper.
I just wanted to call back. I just left a really long voicemail, but I wanted to make one that was a little less long-winded. Basically, I was just saying that this weekend I went to Monster Jam, and I was trying to use my camera button to take a video of a 12,000-pound monster truck
Here we go.
doing a backflip. And my friggin' camera control button locked my whole phone up on a black screen, and I couldn't do anything.
Feel so
I
validated.
missed the whole thing. I mean, I still saw it with my eyes, but now I don't have a video to show that I saw a 12,000-pound monster truck do a backflip.
I want that
Also,
for you, man.
I mentioned in the other one, I'm not going to it, but the camera app is really quirky.
It
The
sucks,
camera
man.
control button on iOS 18.
It absolutely sucks.
After everything he's been through.
That's all I'll say here. You already heard it. Anyway.
After everything he's been through, the pooping in the camper, the crusty socks, missed the monster truck.
What a tragedy for him.
You're right, though. I do feel very validated because we have been mentioning that anytime, like in the episode where we faked the iOS 19 leak, I say
we didn't fake it.
I was like, iOS doesn't work as it is now, so hopefully they don't try anything crazy with this one. And I got so many comments. We got so many comments that were like, what are you even talking about? iOS is great. Like, people are that oblivious to this, to how terrible this fucking shit is. And we come on this show on Genius Bar, I complain all the time, and everyone's like, if you're going to complain about something that works perfectly fine, just make a show about something else. We mentioned the camera thing here. Last episode, we mentioned how the camera just is black when you open it up, and we missed the moment. For the first time ever, people have been like,
same.
I've been having that issue too, and I thought it was just me. So thank you, everybody. Yeah. It feels
Feel
great.
Validated. I noticed the same turn. As soon as we mentioned that specific camera issue, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, well, we can talk about that one."
Yeah,
dude, it's terrible. I've found myself just trying it.
Think about how many moments have been missed. Millions.
I did almost miss. I sent you the video of my 3-year-old son standing at my front door. There was a bunny outside and a dove that had landed, and he was like just going, "Bunny, hop up," like and like birdie tweet, and I was like, I need to get this. I need to hurry up and get this. And my fucking phone, I like had to restart, open, close the fucking camera app.
You're supposed to just go straight from lock screen to camera. Why do I open up just black screen, have to swipe that away, goes back to the lock screen, but it's still locked, have to unlock with my face, then open the camera app? I almost used a very inappropriate bad word. Everyone around me now knows when I'm trying to capture a moment because it's preceded by
swearing
piece
and
of
yelling.
shit phone.
Yeah.
Like anytime I go to, I'm trying to quietly capture a moment, but everyone gets this. Piece of shit phone every time. That's how I take a photo now.
We do a lot of voice message communication, things like that.
Yeah.
I'll regularly get one from you that like is cut off early, and then the next one is, "I fucking hate this phone." Like, or like a text that just says like, "Are you even getting this?"
Dude, the other day, holy fucking shit. I forgot how mad I was. No one's watching right now anyway, right?
This is the end of the episode. Go ahead. Have fun.
I sent a text message to you that I spent time having to like, it was instructions or something at my house.
Yeah.
So I had to think about the list of things and I typed it all. I sent it, didn't get a reply, so I opened iMessage to see if you read it. It was gone. I didn't have it. I sent it. I understand if I send something and somehow it doesn't get delivered to you.
Yeah.
That happens sometimes. It was gone for me. So I checked my Mac. I was like, I was wondering if I was going crazy and if you got the message. Check my Mac. Message isn't on my Mac. Checked my fucking iPad. It's not there. It is like I never sent it. It's gaslighting me. And then I'm like, do I just sit here and retype the whole message?
Yeah.
So I do. I start retyping the message and then I get a reply from you. And then I'm like, so did you get it?
Yeah.
And then I'm not getting text messages from him. So the whole day, I have no idea what he has read that I have sent him. I don't even know what I sent him because it's gone for me. I have no history that I sent him anything. And that was the whole day.
Yeah.
I just, if there was an emergency that day, I guess we could have called each other, but there was no way of knowing.
Yeah.
I can't, how does that happen? What is happening there? It's not T-Mobile. It didn't even get to T-Mobile.
Yeah.
It happened immediately on my phone. I hate it. Someone gotta go. And you know what? It should be dramatic. Craig, fucking gone. I'm sorry.
No.
Listen, I'm sorry. I love Craig. I think he's incredibly fun and handsome and wholesome.
Great guitar player.
And lovely and likable. But unfortunately, none of those qualities fix my phone. You're gone. It has to be a dramatic removal.
Cut his head off?
Yes, cut his fucking head off, and then I bet
Hold
no
his
one
hair
will
up.
mess with this anymore.
Hold his hair up on stage.
Yeah.
Tim goes, look what happened.
Look what you did. Someone has got to go. It is time. It is that bad, and we can't just... We're having private meetings internally at Apple. We're like, hey, this isn't great. We should do better. No. We're past that. There are no consequences. There are none. There are no consequences other than someone goes, you have to have a meeting today, and it's going to be uncomfortable. Someone has got to go, and I'm sorry, Craig, you are, no matter who messed up where, you are the senior executive for software. You're gone! Everyone loves Craig, and that's why we have to lose Craig. Maybe we get him back one day.
We have a lovely Recycle Bin viewer, listener, commenter who always timestamps the episode for us.
Mm-hmm. Joshua, is that his name?
His name. This person, his name is John.
John. Yeah. Sorry.
I really hope when he hears this part, and maybe he hears my words here, I hope it's named John's iOS Crashout.
I hope so too.
Because that's what this is at the finale.
Well, I hope it's not like the
episode.
decapitation of Craig Federighi. Like
Could be. It could be in quotes the decapitation
This is all
of
a
Craig
funny joke.
Federighi.
We don't actually want him
colorized.
decapitated. God.
His head got
his kappa got detated.
His kappa got detated. All right, that's Recycle Bin episode 26.
That's it.
I hope you had a good listen. What an episode! We were all over the place.
Yeah, that's Recycle Bin though.
Yeah, he had a WrestleMania crash out.
We had a full, very needed discussion about Mark Gurman.
Yeah, we kind of a crash out on Mark Gurman.
Kind of. The Mark Gurman crash out? Yeah. Is that the title of the episode?
The episode is just crashing out.
The Mark Gurman crash out.
Okay. Well,
We
thanks
love
for
you
listening.
very much.
Yep.
We'll see you next week. And what?
Nothing. You're good.
What?
We got to record an ad.
Where's it going? Right here?
No. Somewhere else.
You forgot?
I did. Well, we forgot.
No. We?
See you later, guys.
Bye.